What's up, everybody? And today we are checking out the Bloodiest Battle of the Chosen Company. Now, this is part 3 for me, if you're watching it in chronological order. But technically, for the videos on the International Legionnaires Ukraine YouTube channel, it's part 2. We're starting part 2 video, if that makes sense. Now, I've been splitting these up. Like the last video, which is about the same length as this one, which is about 50 minutes. I split it up into 2. But if I'm honest with you, I might just watch the whole thing. I might just watch the whole thing in a one right now. I mean, you'll be able to tell if the video's upwards of an hour. You'll be able to tell if I've watched the whole thing or not. And I just think these are the type of videos where I kind of don't want to take a break necessarily between them. And because I'm making 2 videos per day, I think a lot of people prefer me to just make one long-ass video rather than splitting it up into multiple things and having different things on different days. Let me know what you think. You might prefer that, but we'll see how this goes. Before we get started, though, if you haven't checked out Chug, the channel sponsor, look at these. Look at these beauties. Get them customized. Got my initials on one. Got the morale logo on another. This is my new favorite. This is sick. This is just unbelievable, isn't it? It's so good. It's got the studs on the bottom to protect it. Waterproof handle. Thermal. Keeps your drink cold for ages. Made here in the UK by a small business, and you can get 10% off. Link down below. I don't think you're going to get a better deal anywhere else. It's absolutely fantastic. Also, we are close. What's the date today? It would be Wednesday when this goes out. So officially in 2 weeks' time, Morale goes live on Kickstarter. Be there. But this is going to be a long video. Sit back, get yourself a cup of tea, glass of whiskey. Maybe, if you're watching this in the future, get yourself a drink of morale, pour it into your chug, sit back, relax. Let's watch this. Let's break it down. Let's see what's going on. I was going to say let's enjoy it, but you can't really enjoy these videos, can you? It's almost as if it's more of a educational documentary and an insight into this extreme life that we don't usually see in our modern, easy world where we're just chilling at home, right? And so I wouldn't say this is necessarily fun to watch, but I think it's important to watch. Do you agree with me with that? Also, actually, another quick thing before we do get started. I went live last night and we played Arma Reforged. Is it Reforged? Arma Reforged. I really, really, really enjoyed it. It wasn't just the fact that the game was really enjoyable, which I actually had a lot of fun with the game. It was the fact that we went live. It was a bit later than we usually do. It was like 8 p.m. my time, so good time for in America. And there was a lot of people there, and we just had a bunch of fun, didn't we? And I kind of want to do that again. I'm thinking, and I'll see what you guys think of this. You might agree with it, you might not. Tuesdays and Thursdays, 8 p.m. British Standard Time. Maybe we go live for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. Just vibe, have a chat, discuss videos like this. Maybe even watch some videos like this live on the stream. Maybe play some military games. Maybe play games that aren't to do with the military at all. Maybe just have some fun together. Maybe get really deep into some milsim and tactics. Let me know what you think, because I'm really vibing with that right now. Proper vibe, that, innit? Anyway, let's crack on with this. The Bloodiest Battle of the Chosen Company. The first one started off horrendous, didn't it? It just felt like everything was going wrong for them. So I'm kind of, I wouldn't say anxious, but just intrigued on how they're going to solve that issue here. And again, as this is probably going to say at some point in the video, viewers discretion. Just be aware, if you're military, and even someone commented this the other day, it's not just military. If you're, law enforcement or a veteran of law enforcement or any sort of service that puts you in a place where you might have experienced or see traumatizing things, just be aware that this video is going to obviously be quite, it's going to bring back some memories to some extent for some people. Just be aware of that. If you're watching this and your mum and dad are sat on the couch with you and your dad's experienced military stuff, or your granddad's there and he's experienced, or your brother or your sister or your whoever, just be well aware that this can bring back some memories for people. All right, guys? So just keep that in mind if you're watching this type of content. For me, it's okay. I didn't have trauma when it comes to this type of stuff in the military, so it's okay. I know if I watch this with my dad, it might be a little bit different, and you just got to be very aware of that, okay, guys? It sounds weird. Does it sound weird to you? It sounds like crackly. Let's move it forward a bit.
Hey, Irish! I'm gonna non-stop this cunt. You need to move that way when I do it, okay?
I love that he's just sat there cross-legged. Like, I'm gonna non-stop this. I'm gonna turn subbies on and move my head up. Just in case, guys. I want you to be able to hear everything, okay?
I'm gonna non-stop this cunt. You need to move that way when I do it, okay?
Dave preps he asked me to cover him, so I cover him. He preps a non-stop, so they make a pretty good boom, and they're good for overpressure to clear cellars and etc.
Yeah, it's tricky, that, isn't it?
Fire coming from 12 o'clock! That building!
As I'm covering him, we're getting shot at pretty accurately, so I'm trying to return some fire, and you know, probably didn't do much, but I was returning fire.
Watch out, Jay!
So he's saying they're coming from that building over there. That's oh, mate. And his mate's there to the left, just prepping a non-stop. That's stressful, that, isn't it? Non-stop. Boom!
Yeah.
So we were like, sweet, anything in there should be fucking pretty dead. And then nearly probably 20 seconds after the Russians start throwing F1 grenades back at us.
Wow.
And start just firing up to the hole.
They're still in there.
So we were like, well, fuck, we'll come back for that.
They're still in there. This is Bravo, Roger. I non-stop. The red brick is still got enemy inside over.
That's insane that they're still inside there and they're still carrying on. Like, they must be in a bad way in there, the Russians.
Take cover! Take cover!
Take cover.
Is it Bravo mortar rounds or just normal bullets over?
The Russians are going to be lobbing mortars at you very shortly. Take cover
Oh,
now.
that's not good.
Mortars incoming!
At this stage, we had been taking mortars. They were pretty consistent. They were close, some uncomfortably close, but no direct hits as of yet.
Get mortars incoming, get...
The fact that he says as of yet gives me a bit of worry there. Why is he saying as of yet?
They're quick, bunker down, watch the north.
Christ.
Enemy mortars!
Wow.
The artillery is getting so accurate that we need to find shelter. And at this point, Permayask is just a wasteland of rubble.
Yeah.
So like hiding places with a roof is very rare.
We were able to traverse the area back to a position that we found. Ukrainians had been in it. They were occupying it, facing and having everything facing east towards the Russians. So it was our first Ukrainian position on the zero line. So
Very well defended Ukrainian position. I think it's it looked like an old car garage filled with concrete. So it had 3 walls and a roof. And where the cars was supposed to go in and out, they had built like Hesco bastions filled with sand. And then just like a doorway with nothing.
Them Hesco things are absolutely nails as well, aren't they?
All cramped in there. There's already 5 or 4 Ukrainians in there, plus us 9, and it was not built for that many, so we were very cramped. A couple minutes after we came, maybe 10 minutes after we came, a 120 or something similar mortar or artillery shell lands directly on top of the bunker.
Oh my God.
And the entire bunker just rings like a bell. Nobody can hear anything, and the entire room is filled with dust.
Jesus.
So after about 10 minutes of sitting there, it was, I remember hearing an FPV drone at the very last second, and you kind of look towards it near the door, and it hit us, and the explosion was immense, and it was, you could see the fireball, like it was in your face, and it luckily didn't kill anyone, but it wounded one Ukrainian, had some minor shrapnel to his face.
That's insane that they dropped that on it and it rung and there was that many people in it. That could have been that could have been really, really bad, couldn't it?
It was like this further down, it would have gone straight in and probably killed every one of us.
Yeah.
Divine intervention, I guess.
Well, you could say
At this
something.
point, there was a the Ukrainian guy in there. We later found out he was the commander of the group in that position. He wanted to do while everything is going on, we have just got in there, everybody's injured, everybody's still fighting, artillery, drones everywhere. He wants to do a selfie for some reason because we are foreigners and he has never met foreigners in Ukraine before. So he takes out his phone and is starting to do selfies. He just finished doing the selfies. A suicide drone hits like the pillar roof. Nobody got hit besides the Ukrainian guy. He got hit in the mouth with shrapnel, and he just sits there, oh, below, while he's bleeding out of his mouth.
And I have no doubt if it wasn't for those Ukrainians in that particular position that they took us into, we would have died for sure, because at that point, there was no way to outrun kamikaze drone.
Yeah.
Now everybody's getting very tired of this operation, and it has failed at this point because we can hear what is going on with every other group, and it is what it is.
Yeah, it definitely seems like shit hit the fan too quick, or at least it wasn't anticipated to be as quick as it was. And it also does, like, it seemed like they didn't expect the Russians to be as aggressive as they actually were as well, which is quite impressive on their side. But still, like, it's obviously completely made things go downhill very quickly. It wasn't like a gradual thing. It went downhill very quick. I think 3 of the teams got hit pretty much, not at the same time, but pretty close to each other, didn't they, in part 1?
Hey, Yorkie! Yorkie!
Roger.
I need 2 of you to push across the road to here. Fucking run, cunt! Get up and fucking run! Get in here, get in here. Yorkie!
Whichever team is hiding in the hole,
Jesus.
move forward now.
I mean, it looks like there's a lot of fire coming from that direction over there that he was just shooting. So having them lads run across there, it's basically open ground.
Hey, okay. You two, I'm gonna say here, there's still enemy in there, okay?
Yeah.
Alright. Watch the entrance on the left and the right. Watch these holes. I don't think they can see out of there. They would have shot me by now, okay? We are gonna
The fact that he's saying that's insane. They probably would have shot me by now. He's not wrong. But the fact that that's even a thing is mental. Because as soon as I saw that building in part 1, I was like, you gotta watch out for them holes. Like he was sat right in front of them holes. I was like, you gotta be careful.
round, head up to those mountains, hills, okay?
I leave 2 guys at the tunnel entrance that goes to Red Brick, and I take 1 other with me. I tell them, okay, boys, one of you is going to watch the tunnel, one of you is going to watch Red Brick in case some of them try to pop out or shoot at us. Me and 1 other, I'm going to lead him through this 40, 50 meters of open ground because we didn't know if there were mines there or not.
So sent 2 guys over there, and then me and Dave were gonna hold there for a second and try get some other guys across. Then the IDF started coming in, pretty heavy. So we were like, right, we need to move. So we moved across to the building which there was believed to be no enemy in. So we get there.
All right, ready, Art? Yeah.
Good God.
Guys, are you okay? Everybody all right? Yeah.
Wow. Well, I just heard some guy go, everybody all right? He sounded very British. It makes me wonder if any former Royal Marines are on this squad. Obviously, not everyone shows the face. They're not going to say, yeah, a Royal Marine is on the squad, but it makes me wonder.
Stay low. They're trying to hit us with RPGs, but they can't get the...
Where's this cellar?
Stay low, bro. Yeah.
From there, me and Dave decided to keep the boys there, and then me and Dave were going to move up through this open field, see how far we can get and see kind of what's going on, and see if we can, you know, kind of get closer to the enemy further east.
Okay, get to me.
Yeah.
We're going to take rounds, okay?
Okay. Oh, what's that under there?
Where?
When me and my mate Howard started bounding forward, I would bound forward, and he would take the exact same route I did.
Yeah. Moving up.
And a mortar lands about 15 meters next to us.
Jesus. Look how close that was. Holy shit.
I asked him if he's all right. He's like, yep, right, sweet. We got to keep going, man. We got to keep pushing forward.
Yeah, you just got to keep that momentum.
It was close, but we're not dead. We're not injured, so we can still keep going.
This is Delta team now.
So I remember we're walking and we stopped in that weird building where I shot the rockets with those triangle-shaped walls. And we stopped there for a bit and realized, oh, this is pretty open.
This is giving me... Oh, God, my anxiety watching this is through the roof. Situational awareness is so different when you're in the position compared to someone like me who's just sat here watching it on a screen, because I don't have full context of where the enemy is. I don't know if they do, but you don't get the full story, do you? When you see him just walking like that, like my anxiety is like, get on the ground. I'd be on my belt buckle the whole time, just crawling, making sure I'm not exposing myself in any way. But at the same time, like these guys are in it. You know, like I can't critique what these guys are doing because I'm not there, right? I can give what my training would tell me from my perspective right now, right? But they're in it. It's a different story, isn't it?
Hurry. Excuse me. Get around that wall.
Whoa. Get the fuck down. Get down.
Get in. Hurry. Move.
And that building as well, the holes in it. It's not good cover, is it? It is not good cover. You got a lad down.
Watch those landmines. Okay. I'm going around the back. Bring him to me.
There's a frigging landmine sat there.
No, we're not safe here. Okay. We need to be on the other side of that wall. Come on, that rocket's gonna fucking murder us.
That lad who's been hit.
Help me up, please. Come on. Just get up. Come on. Now move. Concept rocketing us like right here, bro. There's a trench. Yeah. Watch the account.
We walked past that. We walked back to the first enemy bunker that we cleared, and we hopped in their trench line, and we're kind of sitting there. And at this point, you know, blood loss is starting to slowly kick in. You know, the adrenaline starting to slowly wear off.
He said cleared, so they obviously didn't clear it very well. Whether there's people in there or not, doesn't sound like it, but... God, this terrain is horrendous, isn't it?
You good, brother?
I don't know where I'm going.
Come on, mate.
You good?
I can't get up.
CB's bad, man.
I can't get up. I just need help.
Shit.
Why? What is it?
Stop.
It's a mine?
Yeah.
Where?
Right there. Mine! Trip mine. Trip mine.
Wow. They can't catch a break, can they? My dude here is bleeding. He's going down. There's trip mines in these bushes, which is almost impossible to navigate. It almost looks like it's head height, so walking through it seems just horrendous in the first place.
Stop! Trip mine!
I'm back that way.
Someone get hit?
No.
No.
My body's left. All right, we gotta go right.
No,
Look,
it's...
I lost my aid bag. My aid bag's gone.
Hey, this fucking
Oh my God, you hear the metal wasps going right over him? Christ!
We got hit with a pretty direct barrage, and it was a mixture of mortars and AGS fire as well, and that knocked down pretty much everybody at that point.
I just feel an explosion above head, and I feel shrapnel hit me, and I fall face down to the ground, and and I just felt pain. We had been hit by airburst mortars. We're starting to hit in our position, so that threw me to the ground.
Come on. Ow, fuck. Come on, we gotta run, boys. I'm bleeding. I know. Come on, guys, come on. I'm bleeding too. We gotta go.
They need to get the fuck out of there now. They need to get up using adrenaline and get the fuck out of there right now. Otherwise, they're all going to get killed.
Fucking hurt, boys. Come on, come on. Get a tourniquet on me. I'm bleeding out. Ah, fuck. Boots bleeding out. Oh, CB. Come on, guys. We can't fucking stay here.
Yeah, they need to move now.
Over, and then an FPV drone hits one of our marksmen. They took a lot of shrapnel, and some of that shrapnel hit my right arm. And from there, I'm like, shit, I'm hit again.
Oh my God.
Given the situation, this was like the third or fourth grenade I think that had hit me personally. I don't know about everybody else. I knew CB was fucked up, and Lance I think was okay at this point until we got hit with that barrage. Lance got hit pretty bad, and I got hit, and it hit me in the leg. So I was content to just keep eating shrapnel and keep going as long as I could move. I was doing okay. But I had a piece hit me in my leg, and it made my leg go completely numb, so I couldn't really use it at that point. I couldn't move it, so I was like crawling around. And finally, that last one that hit me, I fell down because I couldn't use my leg, and I laid on the ground, and I was just kind of like, oh man, I got to do something different. Like, this isn't working. Some of the other guys are two snipers.
Holy crap. Again, they need to get out of that spot. Like, it just seems like they've walked into the worst spot on that whole battlefield. He's right by saying, you know, if you're going to get hit by shrapnel, as long as it doesn't, like, stop you, then you can move to a better position, to a good position. But the moment you get hit in the leg and your leg's gone numb, like, what are you to do? It's not like you can have a friend to help you, because everyone in that everyone in that fire team's getting hit. Everyone.
And the other two guys that were with us on our team, you know, I don't know if I told them, or they're like, hey, Tango, we gotta go. And I'm like, look, I can't get up, man. Like, you know, you guys go, like, go get help. And they did. They went back to try to tell, you know, hey, like, we got a bunch of casualties laid out and nobody can really move.
Oh my God. Tango, let's go! We got it. Fuck. Okay. I just need to get something. All right. Fun. All right. We gotta go. Come on. Let's go.
Jesus Christ.
On their way back, they took just obscene amount of drones. I know that hit a lot of guys, and like they were injured pretty badly as well when they got there.
Hey, come on! Back. Oh, God! Oh, my fucking leg! Oh! Okay. Ah! My foot.
This is really hard to watch. This is really, really hard to watch.
So I sit up, and I can see Lance. He's laying face down. He's trying to get up. And then next you know, I just see an explosion off his back. And then as I'm sitting there, I feel like someone took like a sledgehammer or something, like a hammer, and just hit my foot. And my foot just kind of went jiggly. And I realized I just got hit again. And it was a drone dropped a grenade. I don't know what it was. It had to be some type of impact grenade, or a VOG round, which is basically a Russian grenade launcher round, because it exploded on impact. Because I remember I watched it hit Lance, directly on his back.
Get to me, bro.
We bulk it up, we start bounding, keep bounding, and then we get to a crater.
I'm getting in this crater.
Okay.
What? What? We need to move on it.
This is really hard to watch, guys. Not gonna lie, it's really, really hard to watch. I want to watch the whole thing, but I don't know if I can. I literally don't know if I can.
That's a close one. I'm going that way, okay?
Huh?
I'm going that way.
What's... Drone.
What the fuck's that? Get down!
So we were waiting for our sniper element to move up so they could help support us in moving up. As we're sitting in that crater, where our lads were behind us, mortars started raining down and like
my
huge
God.
plumes of fucking black smoke. You just seen the mortar where you know your friends are, and you that could have hit them and they could be dead. So
You okay? Are they good?
we'd be shouting back, and it was a pretty far distance, and with all you can't hear hear if people are okay or if they're dead. You don't know.
Alright, we need to get up on this mound and fucking see if we can catch any cunts out that way. But these aren't clear. So just...
You hear that like weird like wisp, the pew. That's a round going over them. You'll hear it. Sometimes it's like a like that. That is also it going right over them. Because it's the sound of the round breaking the sound barrier above what we're listening to, which would be the microphone and the camera. I literally don't know how these lads got out of this. And I'm wondering how many people got killed in this.
It's just me and one other here. I'm looking around, I'm trying to find what the best way is to approach this, what the best way is forward. I didn't want to bring my team up to me right now because we were in a small crater taking cover at the base of these mounds. And you're bringing the whole team there, spread out in open ground. It was better that they were staying near the buildings where they had at least some hard cover for now.
Yeah.
At this stage of the battle, my team had advanced as much as we could.
Drones dropping grenades.
I wasn't sure of the status of Alpha and Delta. I knew they were still fighting, but I didn't know how far forward they were. And then I hear over the radio that Charlie has now taken casualties and they're now withdrawing back to their staging area. So I say to my mate, fuck it, we're moving back, we're getting out of here.
Yeah. That's the right call. That's the right call. At this position, they just need to get out, recoup. At the end of the day, there's no reason why they can't head back, just reorganize, and go and try again at some point and hit them hard and get revenge. But they can't carry on in this position.
I'm gonna fucking move back, okay?
Yeah.
Move back to the fucking orange, I'm gonna cover your ass.
Okay.
Alright. We're moving back!
We were waiting for Ryan to tell us when to retreat. Pretty much everyone had retreated at this point. We took a lot of casualties.
So yeah, we've had guys get like sucking chest wounds, keep fighting, stuff like that. But like that was the first time where it was to the point that we had so many wounded that we just couldn't keep pushing. And again, the Ukrainians didn't backfill the positions that we had gotten up to and cleared just because they probably would not have been able to hold it.
Yeah, fair one.
Finally, I find the one Ukrainian bunkers. There was a good CCP bunkers, only Ukraine CCP bunkers. And I didn't know that there was a medivac bunkers.
So this is the lad that got lost. Jesus.
Мы сейчас все сделаем. Все будет ок. Будешь жить. Slowly.
So they can speak in English. I can't speak in the Ukraine language, so we are trying to using the translate cell phone.
Breathe, please. It is hard for your breathing? No, me.
They're literally using the phone to translate. Wow. This is so difficult to watch, knowing that they're going through this shit out there right now. Like, this is still happening. Like, today, as we watch this right now, there's lads in these bunkers and lads in these little dugouts trying to figure shit out. As we watch this right now, it is hard, isn't it? This world is just such a fucked up place.
So there was a good medic. So he trying to treat my arms. He did packing my wounded and bandage. So it was a good treatment.
HQ. 59. Мы 59, yes. Пише той казав.
One of the darkest moments in my life was we were at that final kind of garage bunker, and we were just getting hit by direct hits on that thing, and I didn't know whether it was going to collapse or hold up or how long this was going to go on for, but that really wasn't what bothered me. What bothered me and what was that moment was hearing on the radio that Delta team had gone completely black on comms.
Didn't they lose the comms or something though? They didn't go black on comms because they got injured, right? They were the ones that lost their comms or just lost contact. I'm pretty sure, right? Maybe not. Maybe I'm mixing them up here.
Yeah, and we knew at that point that they were further ahead in the area that the Russians were occupying, and we knew a lot of them were seriously injured. And so I didn't...
Not saying that they weren't injured. They were obviously injured. They got absolutely rattled. But I think the comms went down before they got rattled, wasn't it?
Know if those guys went down in there, and they were just in a dark hole in the ground being killed by the Russians. And, these are my friends. These are people I've known for a while. Just that not knowing, that was really hard for me. You just have that sinking feeling inside knowing that your buddies could be being killed as you speak in some dark, godforsaken place in Pervo.
Wow. Getting some tourniquets on here. Got a lad down there.
When I was treating CB, I had my aid bag set off to the side, and it got hit with not direct mortar, but it got hit pretty bad and it was shredded. So I went to pick it up. I didn't realize that, and then all my equipment went everywhere.
Oh
and
my
I tried
God.
to look for stuff that I could get, and immediately there was freaking rockets coming overhead. So I grabbed a handful of shit, and then just went with CB to go keep moving. Dubs was right next to me right after I got hit. I think he was fine at this point.
So if I'm correct, he's the only one right now that's fully functioning. Everyone else is, he's been hit. He said he was hit, but he's functioning, right? Well, he said his friend was fine at this point, but it sounds like he's the only one who's kind of got a grasp of things. Do you get what I'm saying?
And then we got hit with another barrage of mortars, but this time I'm pretty sure it was an air burst round that hit down, because he was laying right next to me when he got hit really bad, and it tore right through his guts and hit him in hit him in the side, so he was pretty fucked. And so I immediately, because I asked him like, hey, how bad am I bleeding? And he was like, oh, it's not bleeding that bad, it's just slow. I was like, okay. And then bam, freaking snap got him. And I think that's what probably killed Lance too at that point. So Dubs got hit, and I started just like trying to work on him as quickly as I could. Got up. And at this point, I had been hit everywhere except my left arm. And I had like 2 pieces of shrapnel in my hand and in my elbow, my right side, my back. I was bleeding pretty good. Wasn't dead. So I was like, okay, fuck it. I just gotta help, these guys as much as I can. So started stripping Dubs, checking him, making sure everything was good. It was definitely not good. He had a massive hole in his side from a piece of a mortar. And at this point, I think Bubbles actually showed up, one of the guys from Finland that we had, and he was pretty messed up. That mortar had taken 3 of his fingers off. I was working on Dubs, and he...
Jesus Christ. Delta team got absolutely mauled. They got absolutely destroyed. Those poor lads. Like, I'm lost for words. Absolutely lost for words.
Showed up and I was like, buddy, you got to put a tourniquet on yourself. Like, I can't help you right now. I got one good hand and I got to use it on Dubs. And so I did. I put chest seals on him, full assessment, checked him out, wrapped the bandage around him. He was I think he was stable at least at that point. So I went to check on Lance, and Lance was, he said like, yo, Tango help me. I didn't know that he was injured at that point. I thought he was just like staying low. So I went over to check him, and he was like pretty bad. So I started working on him. I tried to take some of his kit off, pulled it off, checked him. He had multiple injuries, just shrapnel, to the torso. So I pulled all the shit out of my IFAK and used it. And I put, chest seals on him, and stabilized him and bandaged him up as much as I could, put him on his side, and was like, all right, man, just hang out here. I'll be right back. Went to check on CB. He was good. He had already been patched. Went back to Bubbles again, and then back to Dubs, checked Dubs. He was stable. And then by the time I got back to, went back to Lance, he was just kind of on his last breaths. So I just kind of sat there, with him. I tried to help him as much as I could, but like I couldn't. There was unfortunately not really much I could do. These guys were the first casualties for Chosen Company and also for myself. So that really sucked. Yeah.
That's hard. That's really hard to listen to, isn't it? That's really difficult to listen to. I feel like that's really got me more than anything I've probably watched on this channel before. Like, choked me up big time, that. Like, part of me just wants to be there to help, Like, I want to be there and help them in that moment, but obviously I don't want to go to war. Jesus Christ. Just to think that he was pretty much the only one there and none of his other team was there to help. None of the other teams were there to help, or just the fact that he was kind of just, it's almost as if he's spinning multiple plates trying to keep everyone going on his own. And he just kind of needed someone there to help him, right? Like, just the thought of that. Like, no one deserves that. No one. Not even the best medics in the world deserve to go through something like that. Not like nothing. It's just, that's horrendous. That is absolutely horrendous.
Roger, Captain. Roger, you're loud and clear. Slow down, speak slowly. Movement, cover.
Good God, that imagery right there is haunting.
I didn't really realize it at the time, but you know, Lance was gone. But still, at the moment, we had everyone else was wounded. I was hurt. I wasn't thinking, but I didn't know he was dead. Just thought like maybe, you know, he could have passed out from his wounds. Who knows? But at that point he was dead. And I remember just looking up at the sky, thinking, "Fuck, I'm gonna probably die in this field." You know, I fought in Ukraine in 2022. I was here with the Ukrainian unit with the Da Vinci Wolves. You know, I had seen combat with them, but nothing like this. And for me, the biggest thing that I was afraid was not dying. I was more afraid of the phone call that my family would get that I was killed. And that
God, like that's horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. This is why my worst fear is my kids going in the military. Like I get like it did me the world of good being in the military, right? Like I grew as a man. I learned so much about myself, my capabilities. I gained some incredible friends and experiences, not experiences like they're going through right now. But like my dad's gone through experiences like this. Not like this, but like he's gone through experiences where it looks like he's not going to make it.
fucked with me more mentally, if anything.
Dubs was doing okay. CB was injured. I'm not sure if he had his rifle with him or not, but I knew there was a Russian position like 30 meters away, and we had just been fighting with them again, like for the second time. So I thought for sure, like, all right, you know, they can definitely see us on the drone as soon as these guys figure out that we're all wounded, or maybe there's like one guy alive, they're gonna come out and finish the job.
Yeah.
Like, so I was trying really hard to just like stay with my guys because I had Dubs to my left and Doubles over here, and I had my rifle.
Fuck, he's literally the only one. He's the only one. At that point, right? Trying to like freaking sort myself out here because I'm an emotional wreck watching this. You learn in training the specific thing that we learn in the Royal Marines, which is I think is just gold, and I think every infantryman should learn, is we learn in training 2 ranks above us. So if we're a Marine, we learn the role of a corporal, right? And if you're a corporal, you should know 2 ranks above you. We do that because if the shit hits the fan like this, every Marine knows how to turn around and be like, corporal's down, I'm taking charge, let's do this. Now, obviously, he is in a situation that is like, you would never want anyone to be in. He's the only one who's pretty much aware of what's going on and needs to get people out. He's got 1 lad that's died. He's got 2 lads on the ground, belt buckle on the ground, like not functioning. And he's right. The enemies, if they're watching on a drone, they're gonna come and finish him off. And if that doesn't happen, more mortars are gonna come. And so it's his responsibility to grab these lads and figure out the best way to get them out. That's it. That's all he's got to do. Get them out. And I say all he's got to do as if like it's easier. I'm saying that as in like it's the only job he needs to concentrate on now. What do you do? What the fuck do you do? You get comms if you can, but it sounds like they lost comms ages ago. Didn't they lost comms right at the start of part 1? And so you get yourself in a position to, you have some self-awareness of where Alpha team and Bravo team are, potentially where Charlie team are. You have an understanding of where they potentially are. And so now you're in a predicament where you need help. He's not going to be able to drag 2 bodies out of there. How was it? I'm wondering how these lads got out.
And my one good hand. So I was trying to maintain security on there and put in a few rounds on the bunker to keep them in there so they wouldn't come out and try to fucking fight us, because if they did, man, they would have had it. It would have been pretty easy. I probably could have gotten up and walked back to that position, but like I didn't, there's no way I was going to leave my... There's no way I was gonna leave my guys like that. So.
Watch the ground move.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're gonna fucking get back to Point Eve.
Wow. Wow.
Fuck. You want me going first?
No, I'll go. I'll go shells first.
Yep. To the pit.
Yeah.
Watch my back, bro.
Yeah.
Go on. We're moving back to you! Alright, gotcha.
I've got wood and already. I'm moving.
You okay?
Dave walks back. He's looking for mines and trying to get back the route we came. So he'd bound up, and then I just run like a fucking idiot and not even think about the mines. Eventually we got back to the lads, and at that point,
Luckily, it worked out for him.
I think we had two casualties. Both were shrapnel. Thankfully, nothing too bad.
We hit. What? Just your finger, yeah? You good?
Oh, good, yeah.
Yeah. Wait.
But at that point, we were trying to figure out like what can we do at this situation, and then mortar started raining down like accurately. So we knew we needed to get out of that field or that lane.
Yeah. Good God, that was
Jay,
close.
we need to go.
That was close. God, if another team gets hit like Delta team did.
Jay, we're taking reactive mortar fire. We need to move back.
Jay, we're going. Jay.
Hey!
Yeah.
Push back, guys, push back. Push back.
All right, let's go, boys.
Push back.
Yeah, they're coming. Fire support, Yorkie.
Oh, he just
Come on,
he just
boys.
fell over. Jesus Christ.
Let's get going.
I'm like picking my fingers like crazy because I'm so anxious about this.
It's red brick.
See?
2 fingers left. The house in depth.
See,
Not the white wall, but the one to the right, slightly further along. Is that okay?
see, yeah. Yorkie, move.
You need to get across the road.
Get across. Proven route back.
Yeah, I'm going now. Move in pairs. Move in pairs.
Pairs.
It's this way. Fuck, righto. Moving.
Please fucking keep me on. Yeah, I'm last man, boys.
I was last man at that peel, and then another mortar hits like just behind me. There was a decomposed Russian body, and the mortar hits, and like the Russian's fucking head and his helmet flies off into the sky, and then I'm covered in like dead Russian like shit, stank like fuck.
That's
and,
nasty.
I was like fuck, but I was okay.
Oh.
I'm good.
When you're fighting and there's all the mortars are going on, you have your training, so you're not really worried about it. You're not really worried about this could if this happens. You're.
I wonder what training they actually get, these lads. Like, I wonder how extensive it is and where they're training and what they're doing. I want to know more about this company.
Kind of just you just want to do your job and go to the positions that you're told to go to.
Yeah.
But you know, when one of your friends gets hit, that's probably when you know, there is a part of you that you need to turn that off. But I think anyone's lying. Like when one of your friends gets hit, then you start to worry, and that's probably the main thing you're worried about. I know for me anyway, I'm mainly worried about my friends and then how to get them out of there. Very good friend of mine, who I've been friends with for a long time. I was very close with him. I hear he calls my name.
Yeah. What's up?
But I was like, "What's up?" And he was like, "I'm hit."
Oh,
And he
shit.
just keeps calling me. He's like, Irish. And I was like, "What's up? Where you hit?" And he's like, I couldn't hear anything. So I was kind of like, if I leave this crater, I'm gonna be probably fucked up. But
Yeah.
it was. I was screaming like, "Yorkie's man down, Yorkie's man down," And at this point, I really started panicking because, you know, when it's your friend, a very good friend, it's like fuck.
Yorkie, where you hit? Yorkie's man down! Man down! Fuck.
I made the decision there and then to run over and see what's wrong with my friend. He took shrapnel straight through the testicle into his leg.
Where you hit? Am I bleeding? Just tell him I'm bleeding. No.
A mortar had come down and injured 3 of our guys.
I hit him in that. If it's gone through his nuts and hit his leg, that's a vital part. The inside of your leg, if you get hit there, mate, that's bad. Real bad.
Shrapnel to the ankle. One had shrapnel in his back, and the other actually caught shrapnel to his testicle, and he lost that testicle later on.
This is what Yorkie says. He goes, if I lost my nut, man, I'm going to be pissed. And I was like, nah, you haven't. But turns out you did.
It's one of them where you have to play light about something that's actually quite traumatizing. The guy lost an organ, which isn't good. There is a comical side to it, but the truth is he's alive. He's alive.
Let's do a fire another one. All right, let's go.
I'd rather lose a testicle and be alive. That's the truth of it.
Go. Ow.
So he walks, I come in behind him. At that point, I'm pretty fucking angry. Checked him out. I was like, nothing serious. Well, it was serious. His ball got blown off. But, you know, in terms of losing your life, it wasn't serious. So,
Is it? Yeah, but... Sorry, Jay! It's alright, fuck it. Yeah, right. Keep and do it.
He's like, am I bleeding? I'm like, nah, you're good, man. So he gets up and walks.
Go.
Charlie's already moved back at this point, and my team, we're now split into 2.
My question here, we've got like 15 minutes left. What the fuck is happening with Delta Squad?
One half of the team leaves first, goes all the way back to Kyiv with the Ukrainian sapper that was with him. And then the rest of the team, the rest of my team, the 4 of us, then push back. We're fighting and withdrawing at the same time. So fighting, withdraw, we'd run, stop, shoot, keep going back.
Jay, let's go. Irish, take your bag. What? No, leave it.
Whoa!
That's me. You good? Leave the bag, fuck it off, bro. No. Let's go! Gander, let's go. Gander, give me the bag. Quick. Right, let's go, bro.
We get to the point where we have to turn to cross the road, and I hear these voices, and I recognize these voices, but they're not anyone from my team. I'm like, I can't tell who that is.
Is this
and
Delta?
At the time, they were yelling my name, or yelling Bravo, we're over here. And I thought it was a sniper team. I thought it was one of our guys, Swede. And I get there, I get around the edge of the building, and it's 2 of our guys, 1 medic and an injured. And he's treating him because at this point he can't move. And the Charlie team had to go. They were going to go back, and then once the rest of the team were there in their staging area, they were going to come back and grab him.
Yeah. Right, you go.
There was another casualty from Charlie team.
Oh, it wasn't Charlie. It wasn't Delta.
He's a big guy.
You right? Yeah. Right, I need a couple of men. Lads, hurry up! Pick them up quickly. We're taking fire. Okay.
A lot of English and Irish lads here. Makes me wonder what their training is. You know, with the British military who retired and the veterans, are they former paras, are they former Marines, are they not at all? And did they learn all the training through this company? I wonder if there is some sort of prerequisite to joining this company that you got to have military experience. Makes me wonder.
Can you walk at all?
So I'm saying to this guy, I'm like, you're going to have to try walk somehow. We get him up, and I put his arm over my shoulder, and we start like slowly, like bit by bit, getting him somewhere safe where he could be treated.
Be very careful over by that wood pile. Go on, pick him up. Can you limp? Yeah, maybe. All right. I just gotta get up. Yeah. All right, grab your arm under here. Okay. Ready? Go.
Yorkie, obviously his ball was hit by shrapnel, his testicle. So he's in quite a lot of pain. So I'm like holding his hand and shit. I'm like, you're good, man. You already have a kid in the way. You'll be fine. And he's telling me to fuck off. So that was a good time.
Christ.
Over. Yeah. All right, Jay, what's your? Keep going, keep going.
I still have so many questions about Delta Team. And that lad, I don't know what his name is, the medic that was basically on his own, but my God. Here we are, here he is.
Kind of sitting there, holding pressure on Dubs's chest wound because he was moving around a lot. He was really uncomfortable. He couldn't breathe very well, you know, because of the injury to his lungs. And so I was holding pressure on that with my rifle up on, like, pointing back at the enemy position. I stabilized Dubs for like an hour, and man, I'll tell you what, sitting for an hour in a battlefield with like
an hour, a whole fucking hour,
like an active firefight and mortars and shit going on, that really sucks.
I just remember looking up in the field and hearing Tango working on Dubs. And I remember hearing the final words of Dubs of what he was saying. And then he passed on too. His wounds were too much. He died, you know, 5 meters away from Lance.
You know, I had a cross for a long time, and kind of was like, as I was working on my casualties, it like fell out of my vest, and I was like looking at it, and I was like, well, you know, I guess I'm gonna go. Probably gonna go see my dad today. You know, when I die, so that'll be nice. But I thought that, and then like immediately, I was just like, nah, fuck that. Like, if they want to kill us, they're gonna have to work for it. So
fucking right.
I pulled everybody's rifles and all the grenades that I could find on their kit and their gear, and I set it in the middle so that I could reach it.
Oh
As the
my
day
God.
slowly got darker and darker because it was still sunny, it was still sunset when I was hurt, and as the night dragged on, it was just getting darker and darker, but the gunfire, the artillery, it was still going constant. We started hearing voices, and we thought it sounded like Russian voices.
Oh, fuck.
So I remember Tango just went shh, and we just listened quietly and we could hear voices. So he grabbed his AK, he fucking put a fresh mag in, chambered it, grabbed a frag, and he just looked at us and said, "This could be it, boys."
I had a grenade in my hand, and I had it unpinned at that point because I thought, like, for sure, man, they're gonna come at any point. Like, they're gonna come from the trench or they're gonna come from the bunker, and they're just gonna fucking get us. So I had one grenade underneath, my rifle on the other, and I heard voices coming from back behind us, and I heard like a word in Russian, and I didn't know if it was Ukrainians or Russians, and I was just like, yeah, this is it. Like, we're gonna fucking go, and I can flip my safety off, and thank God, Ryder was there. He was one of our Terps, and he said, "We're friendlies."
And then next thing you know, I feel hands grab me on my chest, and for a split second, I just was like, I jumped, and then I heard friendlies. It was my buddy Dirty P, and one of our Ukrainian translators had reached us.
Wow.
And I said, "Hey man,
what are the chances they got to him?" Delta Team, man.
Fucking CB and Bubbles out of here right now. Get CB out first. He's hurt the worst. Me and Bubbles will walk out, send another crew back, and we did. And they got CB out on the stretcher, and then JK and another guy came back for us, and me and Bubbles walked out together. It was really tough for him because he had lost a lot of blood, so JK was helping him, and I was stumbling along as much as I could, you know, just because the terrain is so crap. And like at nighttime with no night vision and a bum leg that you can't feel, it's pretty hard to get out.
It's hard for me to commentate on something like this we watch so many different things, military equipment, military stories that are historical in a way, and I guess this is now. And I break them down as best I can with my own knowledge. Somewhat like this, it's almost as if like it's hard for me to commentate on it. Firstly, it feels disrespectful to comment on something that's so horrendous, but I also have this mad respect for these guys that they've just done something that I wouldn't wish on anyone. It's the truth. It sounds just so bad.
I was also pretty worried about stepping on mines, but at the same time, I was like, it's dark, I can't tell, there's nothing I can do, so.
The assault at this stage was done. We couldn't push any further. We got hit pretty hard and unexpectedly as well. So we were sort of waiting now to determine what time we should exfil. But at this stage, we had also learned that we have 2 KIA. We also had 1 MIA. One of our dudes got injured and ran west back to the Ukrainians, and we lost him. And he eventually, he was found. He went back to the, I believe, the drop-off point.
I'm sitting at the position with the Ukrainian guys, and one of the Ukrainian guys comes up to me, and he's this just big old dude. And he like barely fits in this little bunker, and he gets in, and he comes up to me. And I'd used all my stuff for my IFAC to treat everybody else, so I didn't have anything else, and I'm still bleeding from like my leg here. I'm reaching down and touching it every once in a while to see if it's like fresh, and you know, of course it is. So the guy comes up to me, and he's like, "You medic?" And I'm like, "Yeah, medic." And he's just like, "Oh," and he lifts his shirt up, and he's got this little bitty shrapnel wound going through and through. And he's like, "Oh, help me." And he hands me a bandage. and I was like, "Thanks, man." I my leg with it. I'm like, "Дякую." Thanks.
An American guy comes up to me and tells me, yo, you heard his name's Feeney, and he was like, Feeney got shot in the back of the head. And at that point I was like, fuck, like, well, I suppose, like, you just don't think that means he's dead. But obviously the guy's American, he's a bit, you know, stupid. But I walked into the cellar, and the guy who I just been told got shot in the back of the head and presumed dead, he's sitting there smoking a cigarette. And I'm like, I got a cigarette, and I'm like,
wow.
All right, Feeney, mate. And he's like, yeah. I'm like, heard you got shot in the back of the head, and he goes, yeah.
We dropped the casualties at the edge of the village. The Ukrainians take him, they hold him there, and then the rest of us who can still fight go back to the drop-off point. We have to cross open ground. We have to go forward and try and grab the body of Dubs, or Andrew Webber, his name. We get to his body. Thankfully it's closer than we thought. I believe some Ukrainians, when they tried to bring him out earlier, had brought him back and then had to leave him because they were taking too many drones and IDF. We didn't have a stretcher at this point, so we had to carry him, but his body had gone through rigor mortis at that stage, so he was very stiff. So it made him easier to carry, so we would each grab a limb, pull him up, and then go. We get to the drop-off point. The Humvee comes in, and we load Dubs onto the Humvee. As we're about to leave, I'm looking at the drop-off point, the building that's next to it, and I just see this ball of fire just explode in front of me, probably about 20, 25 meters.
Christ.
It looks like an artillery round. It hit the building direct, and
wow.
I believe the Russians were watching us, waiting to see where we were going, and as soon as we stopped, they probably launched the artillery to try and hit us, trying to hit the Humvee. Thankfully, it didn't. So we all start screaming like, let's get the fuck out of here, let's go. And we have to pile onto the Humvee. We have a dude hanging onto the side of the Humvee outside the door. We have to hold onto him, make sure he doesn't fall off. And we have other dudes laying on top of each other. I'm laying on Dubs because there's nowhere else to lay. As we were driving out of Pervomaisk, we had RPGs firing at us, trying to hit us, but thankfully, no. And then we get to the...
I'm guessing the Ukrainians got Delta team out.
As a vac point, and then we offload Dubs, and...
Like, we're just smoking cigarettes, like, trying to fucking, you know, figure out what's going on.
Like, I'm presuming, like, that's how the rest of them got out, not just Dubs. That's insane, that, isn't it? So Dubs must have been the only one that the Ukrainians couldn't have got out until they got to that point then that he was just talking about. Okay, it makes sense now.
And then that's when CB comes out on a hospital bed. CB was another one, again, a good friend of mine, and he was another one that was believed to be dead. So when I seen him on the fucking stretcher, I was like, okay, he's alive, cool. But as he's rolling by, he goes, we lost Lance and Dubs. So that was kind of a shit moment.
I didn't realize it, and Tingle told me after, but I was about maybe 30 minutes from dying. 30 more minutes laying in that field in Donetsk and Pervo, and I definitely would have died either from bleeding out or from shivering to death from hypothermia.
Yeah, it was a really weird feeling walking around a hospital butt ass naked, but like they cut all my, my pants off, obviously, my freaking dick's swinging out everywhere. And I'm laying on the table, they take all my other clothes off, and they're like digging shrapnel out of me on the table, which freaking sucked. No anesthetic, of course, because we're real men, right? This is
because we're real men.
Piece of a VOG round. So this is the one that got me in the leg.
Wow.
And cut my nerve. This crappy little fingernail piece size of metal.
That's sick that he's got it on a chain like that, though, isn't it?
Shrapnel's a killer out here on this battlefield, and that's why I tell anybody who asks, I literally tell them, hey man, if you're gonna be out here doing work, you need to have a freaking protective vest. You need to have a flak vest. Like, it's not gonna stop a bullet, maybe, but it'll stop shrapnel, and that'll save your life. I remember seeing Finian in the hallway, and he's looking at me all weird because I guess I didn't realize everybody else had gotten to the hospital and they didn't have any news about us. And I think our team Delta was the last one to get evacuated, so everybody thought we were all dead. And they was looking at me, man, looking at me all weird, like he'd seen a ghost or some shit. And I'm like, hey, what's up, man? So.
Wow. That must be so surreal, thinking that a whole team's been wiped out and then just seeing one of them in the hospital. You'd have so many questions you'd want to know, but at the same time, you wouldn't want to pry because it's just happened. I couldn't imagine the emotions flying through him.
I think the biggest problem that we ran into in this operation, why it was a non-successful one, is the drone threat. At least for myself and Bravo team up in the north, there had been so many dropper drones, and it just stopped us from being able to push forward and move forward, and to effectively deal with our immediate contact, the Russians, to our 12 o'clock on our advance. So moving forward, we had to come up, and we came up with other ways to try and counter this so that we don't run into something like this ever again.
That's really wise that he's saying that. I know, obviously, it's hard for him to speak about a battle that just didn't go to plan. That's the truth of it. But the fact that they're already looking at this and being like, all right, where did it go wrong? And how can we stop it from happening again? Like, what can we do differently? That is such a key to an absolutely fantastic bunch of lads to be able to look at something so shit and be like, lads, it happened the way it happened, but let's look at the weaknesses. And that's how you get a bunch of lads, how you get a troop being incredibly versatile and grow as a team, like in a very strong way.
A lot of foreigners look at Chosen as like the suicide unit or something, but they don't understand we'll plan an operation for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, use drones to weaken it, use drones for recon, the whole 9 yards. So it's not like we know going in, like Pervo 1, they're like, yeah, you're gonna have up to a company size element. It's like, okay, well, in that area, you can only fit 12 men. So, we had myself and 11 other guys going up against a company size Russian element in fortified positions. It's what it is.
Yeah.
And it boils down to planning, preparation, training, execution. So,
and we constantly learn from everything we do. Like, that's one thing that's really good with us is like, okay, Pervo 2, we don't hide Pervo 2. Like, there's other units, they would take that as a loss and be like, no, we never speak of that again and pretend like it never happened. With us, that was a huge point. Like, okay, we did this, how do we better ourselves?
Fucking Roger. What a great thing to say. There is a lot of lads who'll pretend it never happened. Fucking Roger, for him saying, yes, like, it went wrong, let's improve. Man, this... I'd love to be able... I wonder if I could ever get these on for, like, an interview or something, you know, and have a chat with them.
We do, whether it's like success, failure, doesn't matter. We take a look at it and we like, okay, how do we incorporate like our successes? How do we make this better? Where do we need to improve? And that's something that that is really good and really strong about Chosen, is that we're always trying to evolve, and we're always trying to increase like our skill sets and use more efficient tactics, better tactics, because you can't keep doing the same thing over and over. The Russians will learn from that. They're watching it just like we're watching it.
Yeah,
and that's just going to lead guys. Yeah, they still want to live.
But one thing we really had going...
He nailed that there. He absolutely nailed a summary of something that goes wrong.
Chosen company that really allowed us to do these operations and to go into operations that we knew were going to be bad. We had all worked together for a long time. We had trained together for a long time. We all knew each other in and out, and we all liked each other. You know, obviously you like some people more than others, but I didn't have any bad blood with a single person there. And I would have done anything that I could in my power to ensure that that person, you know, was capable of doing their job, and at the end of the day, they came back from doing their job. And I think that's a really important thing, is just to try to love and understand the people you're working with, because that power is what's going to carry you through. It's going to give you confidence. And you're going to need that confidence because, you know, the war in Ukraine is very serious. It's not like other wars, like Middle Eastern wars. There's a level of intensity here that hasn't been seen in 100 years.
Yeah. Insane. I can't believe I actually managed to watch that whole thing. I didn't expect to be able to... I didn't think I was going to be able to watch that after seeing that. Is that how it ends, just on that screen? I honestly didn't think I was going to be able to watch that whole thing, especially when we got to, like, the first third of it and we were seeing Delta Squad get hit, like, the way they did. It was brutal, wasn't it? I'm pulling up their website now. Let's have a look here. You can literally join up, which is insane, isn't it? That's insane that you can join. 18 to 60, no criminal record, no chronic diseases, physical fitness, ability to legally enter Ukraine, military or relevant experience is an advantage. Military experience is not required, but it would increase the chance of it accepted. Interesting. Combat experience is an advantage. Same again, I'm sure. That's insane that you could just go sign up. That's mental, isn't it? How long is the contract? Contract is 3 year long. Yes, you can terminate it with 6 months notice. Wow. You get standard pay of a Ukraine soldier. Yeah. What an insane video. It's hard to, like, again, I said it halfway through the video. It's hard to commentate on a video that's so difficult to watch. Like, I got choked up quite a few times in that then. And I'm not going to let myself get to that point, but, like, hearing him talk about it, talking about seeing his dad and all that lot, like, that hits hard, you know, knowing them lads are going through that. I think that they're trying to protect a place that needs protecting. I get so many people in the comments. Why don't you look at the Russian side of it? Fuck off. If you're going to comment that, do one. The Russians are the invaders. All right? And if you don't like it, unsubscribe and fuck off. Right? That's the truth of it. Brutal. Brutal. I will be live tomorrow night, 8 p.m. If you want to talk about this, if you want to go over some stuff, maybe we can have a bit of a chat about it. 8 p.m. tomorrow, I'll be live. There'll be no videos. It's Thursday tomorrow. Yeah, I'm right. There'll be no videos tomorrow, but I'll go live at 8 p.m. if you want to chat. Check out Morale, 10% off. Chug. Check out Chug and check out Morale. 2 weeks until the start of the Kickstarter. I love you all. Stay safe. Goodbye.